I'm joined by Dr Clive Dix, CEO of C4X Discovery, who's going to talk to us today about his experience, which spans more than 30 years in the pharmaceutical and biotech industry. Hello, Clive.
Hello.
Tell me a little bit first about your background in the biotech industry.
Okay, so I'm a PhD pharmacologist originally. Worked in large pharmaceutical companies, Ciba-Geigy, Glaxo Wellcome. Moved on then, once I was research director at Glaxo Wellcome, moved on to join a smaller company, and that was the start of what I call my second career. I worked for a company called Powderject, which got acquired, so I formed my own company called PowderMed, which was acquired, so I formed another company, and I've basically been doing this for the rest of my life. I form companies, I grow them, I find the value in the science, and help people progress companies.
And you've recently been made CEO of C4X Discovery.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about C4X Discovery.
C4X Discovery is a drug discovery engine. Started out as a very small company, as a private company. We listed it in October 2014, and we now are in a position where we're growing the company around building brand new molecules from very, very good targets. And we have two specialist technologies. We have a technology called Taxonomy 3, which finds the targets to work on from genetic databases. So it's one of the first companies really that's explosion that's occurred, and these targets therefore are going to be for the future much better medicines. And then our second technology is one where we work with molecules, but we see the molecule, we know the shape of them, and therefore we can very quickly get to the drug molecule that we're going to take to the clinic. So combining these two technologies, we have the best targets and the best molecules which we're going to make medicines out of.
And how unique is that concept within the biotech industry?
I have to say I think it is unique. I mean, people talk about doing artificial intelligence and predictive methods and computational methods. This is data-driven methods where we're using real data. We found out how to extract, if you like, the key data and then take it forward. And we believe the molecules that we'll end up in the clinic with will be completely unique in the way we've developed them.
So of great interest to investors then?
It's definitely of interest to investors, and if as you see where the sector's going, there's less and less what I would call research or discovery work being done in large pharmaceutical companies, they are eventually going to want to see someone that's producing lots of very high quality molecules. So it's a very good investment proposition.
So are we going to see in C4X Discovery a company that can go all the way from research and development through to a marketed product?
Yes and no. Our initial business model is that we're going to produce incredibly high value drug candidates to take to the clinic, and then we'll, in the early phase, partner those. But as we grow and as we get more confident and we get more investment behind us, we expect to take some of these ourselves all the way through to full development into the market.
Now, your share price jumped on the news that you had become the new CEO, and it fell on the news that Britain had decided to leave the EU. Can you talk to me a little bit about your expertise as a CEO and how you intend to navigate what are probably going to be pretty choppy waters over the next few months for the biotech industry?
Okay, so I've always been a great believer in producing data that's of value and making sure that the science that we do is robust, and therefore what comes out of it is robust in terms of statements. I think all of the increase in our share price has come from us telling the investment community that we're doing good things and they are real. Brexit's just a hiccup. In many ways, it doesn't affect a business like ours. A business that's not revenue generating is not affected by where the market is until we've got molecules, and even then there's a global market for drugs. You don't care where the market is, and we will be developing drugs that will be registered in Europe, they'll be registered in the UK, they'll be registered abroad in America, in Japan, and so it's sort of irrelevant to us. The fact that the markets are wobbly at the moment and they take money out and therefore share price drops, they'll just bounce back when everybody settles down. And in fact, our share price dipped slightly after Brexit, but it's now risen above where it was before. So I think that speaks for that.
And in terms of regulation and the sort of punch power of a united Europe, that doesn't affect you if you do take a molecule to market. That's not going to affect you. The fact that you haven't got those kind of
no. Well, I think
strengths.
the regulatory environment is the same whether you were in Europe or out of Europe. You still have to go through the same regulatory authorities, and we'll have to go through the European Regulatory Authority anyway. And whether we go through the UK separately or with them doesn't really make any difference.
Obviously, what you do with C4X Discovery feeds in a lot to the emerging field of personalised and precision medicine. So where do you sit within that, and how hopeful are you that you will be sort of an integral player?
Okay, I think there's a lot spoken about personalised medicine, but we're a long way away from it. We shouldn't I always don't want to raise expectations in the public that we're going to go to the doctors and then somebody will find the drug on the table that's just for you. I think we're a long, long way from that. But in terms of stratified medicine, so picking the patients properly that the drug will actually have the most effect in, we're getting very close to that now. And some of the stuff that we're doing with our analysis of genetic databases specifically shows that the genes that are altered or playing a causal part in disease vary in the same patient population. So you will be able to select smaller patient groups and have much more effective focused medicines. And I think that's very close. I think stratifying medicines so that they go to just the people that they work in will happen in the next 5 to 10 years.
And other companies presumably will be interested in your technology. Are you actively seeking partnerships, or are you licensing out your technology, or how does that work?
No, we're going to license out the molecules which are the product of our technology, not the technology itself.
Just a couple of top tips, I suppose, on the best things and the worst things in your career.
Well, if I think in terms of biotech rather than in big pharma, because there's a lot of things to talk about there, but in biotech, I think the things that you have to focus on is really high quality science and the quality people doing it. And then on top of that, making sure that the company doesn't cut corners, because it might be cost constrained in the biotech sector, but don't cut corners. Really spend the right amount of money to get from A to B. And if you do those two things, you invest well, you fund well, and you have high quality science, you'll get high quality products.
And some of the pitfalls, anything that you regret or that's happened that you're not so happy with?
I think the major pitfalls are really around investment. If you don't get the right investment behind a company, particularly a growing company that's going to have ups and downs, if you haven't got really supportive investment, then some things that are very good end up falling by the wayside just because they haven't had the right investment behind them. All money isn't the same, basically. You have to have good investment.
And I understand, I mean, you worked for some big pharma companies in your early career, and then you developed some companies that you then sold to big pharma. Has that always worked?
It has for me, but does that always work? No, not necessarily.
For the companies or generally for the
I think there's a
medicines?
lot of positioning, and I wouldn't say luck, but you have to have a company with products that at the right time other companies want. And if that's the case, then you get acquired. I recently sold Convergence Pharmaceuticals to Biogen. We had a fabulous product there. We spent a lot of time developing it. It proved in the clinic that it worked in pain. Everybody wanted a pain molecule, and Biogen came and bought it. So you just have to have good molecules that are going to do something special, and then you will get acquired if that's what you want to do.
And C4X Discovery, is that what you want to do?
No. C4X Discovery is a chance to build a very different biotech company, one that is an engine for innovation and discovery and will continually produce high-value molecules for the industry.